Having already claimed 2 lives, Rhiannon attempted to continue her spree of murders, but alongside the protagonist failing her 3rd kill, Sweetpea episode 3 revealed plenty of crucial details that could have a massive impact on the second half of the show. After claiming her first life, Sweetpea episode 2 saw Rhiannon kill a second victim while her life improved dramatically, suggesting the protagonist's darker side unlocked a newfound confidence. As a result, she seemed more self-assured than ever in the latest outing, but some pivotal moments indicated that the walls could begin to close in around her. Naturally, Rhiannon becoming a killer in Sweetpea's premiere suggested her life would change significantly, and while episode 2 hinted at mostly positive changes, episode 3 highlighted the drawbacks of being a murderer. Although she felt initial guilt about taking her first life, Rhiannon slowly made peace with her decisions, causing the protagonist to lose some of the empathy and innocence that made her so likable. While the audience may still have a reason to root for her, Sweetpea's supporting characters have slowly begun to notice her changing behavior, which could potentially make the police more suspicious of Rhiannon. Rhiannon began learning more about how to get away with murder. The protagonist watched TV shows and movies that showed how to cover up murders. Rhiannon Lewis, Ella Purnell, sitting down watching TV in Sweetpea episode 3. Rhiannon's first 2 kills didn't have much planning involved, as the first one was a mix of self-defense and rage, while the second one was an impromptu decision during a night out. Her second victim was more premeditated and Rhiannon had a personal reason behind killing him, but she is still far from an expert when it comes to taking a life, making the reveal that the protagonist has begun learning about how to get away with murder very interesting. At the beginning of the episode, Rhiannon is sitting watching TV, which shows someone storing a body inside a freezer. In addition to taking notes, Rhiannon clears the large freezer in her garage and buys multiple pieces of equipment to help hide her next potential victim. Given she is actively preparing for another kill, it's clear that the sweet, gentle side of her is slowly fading away, and the more sinister and twisted version of Rhiannon is coming to the forefront. While she still has plenty of attributes that resemble the character first introduced in Sweetpea episode 1, her decision to embrace her murderous tendencies makes it clear she has already changed drastically and plans on killing again. Rhiannon got revenge on a rude sales assistant. She dumped the worker's phone in her drink while on a call. Rhiannon Lewis, Ella Purnell, grabbing a shop assistant's phone in Sweetpea episode 3. Although she hasn't been featured too much throughout the series, a local sales assistant is part of Rhiannon's kill list, and the protagonist manages to finally get revenge on her. Despite shopping at the store regularly, Rhiannon is always ignored by the same sales assistant, who once again barely acknowledges her in episode 3. With Rhiannon buying supplies to assist with her next murder, she reveals this plan to the sales assistant who is too busy talking with her friend through an earpiece. Tired of waiting and being ignored, Rhiannon decides to dump the employee's phone in her own drink. Not only does this destroy the phone, but it ends the call, leaving the assistant confused as to why she can't hear her friend. The humorous scene is the perfect example of Rhiannon growing in confidence and no longer letting people walk all over her. In the past, she would have just waited and accepted the sales assistant's rude behavior, but with her new attitude, she was happy to take matters into her own hands. With the central character getting bolder and bolder in each episode, this scene seems to be the start of Rhiannon becoming increasingly unfiltered. The Gazette didn't give Rhiannon proper credit for the murder story. Rhiannon was left angry as she was barely acknowledged for her work on the article. Rhiannon Lewis, Ella Purnell, looking angry in her office in Sweetpea episode 3. Despite being rejected for the vacant junior reporter role in episode 1, Rhiannon still helped cover the murder story in episode 2 and was a crucial part of it being so successful. Having learned about the victim being a bully and even getting a hold of the restraining order against him, Rhiannon was assured by Norman that she would be credited for her involvement. Fast forward to episode 3 and things don't exactly play out this way. After reading the story on the front page, Rhiannon confronts Jeff, who wrote the story, and asks why she wasn't given any recognition. Unfazed, Jeff arrogantly replies that her name was attached to the story on page 38 under administrative assistant. The hard work she put into the story not only gave Rhiannon a sense of pride but also helped her become closer with her colleagues, making this lack of credit a huge slap in the face. Even if she wasn't attached to the front page, she would likely have accepted some sort of acknowledgement later in the story, but being reduced to administrative assistant suggests Rhiannon had no real role in covering the story, which only furthers her feelings of resentment. Rhiannon tampered with Jeff's coffee. Rhiannon got revenge on her coworker by spiking his drink. Jeff, Dustin Demry Burns, holding a cup of coffee at his desk in Sweetpea episode 3. Whether it was Jeff or Norman who decided to reduce Rhiannon's role in the story became irrelevant, as the protagonist made sure to take her anger out on the reporter. Before learning about being reduced to page 38, Rhiannon seemed to be in a good mood and even brought coffee and pastries to the office. However, her frustration quickly takes over after reading the story. Blaming Jeff for her lack of credit, Rhiannon subtly slips laxatives into his coffee and narrowly avoids getting caught by AJ, resulting in Jeff drinking the beverage and having to go home early. Although it takes a little while for the laxatives to hit, the entire office is privy to Jeff's struggles, putting a smirk on Rhiannon's face. The mean-spirited act is another reminder of Rhiannon coming out of her shell and refusing to let people take advantage of her, just as her father wished before his death. It may be bringing her short-term happiness, especially while she's getting away with such acts, but the change in behavior looks destined to catch up with her, making this moment a major reveal going forward.